You will rarely hear me recommend a movie, but you will now, with this caveat: it is PG-13. Let it be known that I gave that warning. The movie is called Coda, and it tells the story of a 17-year-old girl who is the only hearing member of a deaf family, a Coda, child of deaf adults. I laughed and I cried, but the biggest reason I recommend this movie is because of the important glimpse it gives us into the world of the deaf and those who cannot speak. There is a stunning scene when viewers are transported into this world in a way I think I'll always remember. Watching that scene, it's hard for me not to appreciate how blessed I am to be able to speak and to be able to hear. When Jesus heals this man today, this man who could not speak and who could not hear, it again reminds us of the privilege we have if we do live in that world of the hearing and the speaking. It also reminds us of our great responsibility. That we can hear and learn to speak if we can is such a miracle. The gifts are amazing, that we can learn to understand what a person is thinking and feeling, that we can put words on our own concepts and emotions and express them to others. These are phenomenal blessings. I mean, how many parents know the frustration of having an upset child who can't yet tell you what they need or what they're thinking? But as they are able, it's such a relief. It's not always easy, but certainly a gift. In today's gospel, Jesus gives this man the miracle of hearing. He also gives this man his voice. He sets him free to speak so that the power and insight and goodness of this man can be given to the world. Let's focus on the power of speech. Jesus gave this man his voice. Jesus was always giving people a voice, especially those who were disempowered by their poverty or status. Jesus also wants to give us a voice. Some have been shamed and told, "Shut up, you have nothing to say." Some have been dominated in abusive situations and told they would have no voice except they have it through the other. But Jesus says, you do have a voice. What is in here in you matters for the world. It strikes me as true that we are always learning how to speak, so to speak. How to use that voice in important and beautiful ways. Who taught you how to speak? For me, it was a nun in a wheelchair when I was in college. Oh yes, I first learned words and how to put them into sentences by my mom and dad, a gift that was nurtured by my teachers and my grade school speech pathologist. But it was a nun in a wheelchair who first taught me I could name my emotions and inner thoughts and talk about them with others and to truly listen to theirs. Yes, I am, and we are always learning how to speak. For examples, when preparing for marriage or in friendship, it is important to wrestle with things like, how do we do this introvert-extrovert thing? How vulnerable are we with our wounds and our dreams? What do we learn from that argument? And how do we do this better next time? So here, number 2 of our commitments that we call the most sacred heart way is, if I have concerns with someone, I will bring my concerns to that person, and in a respectful way. For me, preaching each week is both a tremendous opportunity and a terrifying responsibility. Not only trying to know what to say and how to say it, but how could there possibly be words for the ineffable, the mystery, the love that is so much greater than words could ever name? And you are faced with that same challenge when you try to put words on the mystery of who you are and what is inside you. How do you and I find the words to express the truth we know beyond words? We always risk being misunderstood. No wonder we'd often rather watch TV or play video games. Yet unless you and I do the work to try to find the words and ways to reveal what is most deeply true inside of ourselves, part of who God is will not be known in this world. Unless you and I do that work, this world will never be as rich and beautiful as it's meant to be. So, 1, we are always learning how to speak. 2, it's a lot of work. 3, it matters that we do so. 4, it matters how we speak. You know that before we hear the gospel proclaimed, we do a triple sign of the cross like this. Notice that the middle of those signs of the cross is on our lips. In that humble gesture, we ask God to forgive us for any ways we abuse the gift of speech or take it for granted. In that humble gesture, we pray without words for the grace to only use our lips to proclaim goodness, only to proclaim love. Whether or not you do see that PG-13 rated movie, Coda, I pray that this day you and I are reminded of how blessed we are to be able to hear, how blessed we are to be able to speak. May what comes forth from our lips be goodness. May what comes forth from our lips bring healing. May what comes forth from our lips be life.